Heavy snow will fall on June 30th, 2025, marking the onset of a new ice age. Everyone, prepare yourselves. It's 6 p.m. on June 26th. We have less than 4 days until the 30th. When I saw this video, I shot up in bed. I immediately started gathering cold weather supplies. I'm not just jumping to conclusions. This blogger has predicted many things before. That actually came true. Alright, guys, get ready for a tense and thrilling apocalyptic story. To all who give this a like, I wish you wealth, beauty, handsomeness, and good luck. After finishing the CET 6 exam, I was lounging in my dorm bed, scrolling through videos. Suddenly, a video with an icy river backdrop appeared before my eyes. I took a closer look. It was posted in the early hours by a blogger I follow, The Time Traveler. The video's content was, on June 30th, 2025, heavy snow will fall, and Earth is about to enter an ice age. Everyone, prepare in advance. Paired with the snowy backdrop, it gave me an inexplicable sense of crisis. I bolted upright in bed. I said to my 3 roommates, an ice age is coming. We need to go buy cold weather supplies, now. Yao Chunhua, sitting on the lower bunk, looked up at me. Frowning in confusion, she said, what did you say? Buy cold weather supplies? Am I hearing things? Su Jejia said incredulously, Zhang Chuyue, you've been reading too many apocalyptic novels. It's summer right now, and it's 40 degrees outside. I took off my Bluetooth headphones and played the video out loud. The robotic voice from the video played once in the dorm room. Li Rulon laughed at me. Those bloggers just say outrageous things for clicks and attention. You actually believe that? To be honest, I did believe it. This blogger called The Time Traveler started posting videos half a month ago. Every video was a prediction, and every prediction came true not long after. That's the main reason she quickly gained millions of followers. Some people believed it, others didn't. Just like in our dorm, with me and my roommates. Regardless of whether they believed me or not, I had done my duty as a roommate. Next, I needed to go stock up on supplies. I had to prepare for the cold in advance. First, I bought a train ticket home. Then I started packing. I planned to take the last train home tonight. I didn't have many important things to bring, so I could finish packing in about 10 minutes. Yao Chunhua watched me pack with curiosity. Where are you going, packing up so late at night? Without looking up, I said, home. Su Jejia said, no way. You're not actually taking that blogger seriously, are you? I sighed softly. I didn't want to waste time on a pointless argument with them, so I just said, I miss my grandma. I'm going back to see her. I put the last item into my backpack, zipped it up. Then I told the 3 of them, I'll ask the counselor for leave. Don't worry about me. Oh, and when you go to the store, stock up on energy bars and water. In this heat, if the power and water go out and you don't want to go out to eat, you'll have something. Also, winter clothes must be cheap in this weather. You could grab some good deals for winter. With that, I shouldered my bag, pulled my suitcase, and left the dorm. Li Lanru's voice came from behind me. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't her grandma die years ago? My grandma passed away 3 years ago. Before she died, she left me her only property. It's a small, old, run-down place in a bad location. Can't rent it out. Can't sell it either. Precisely because it's worthless. Even though my parents were reluctant, they didn't snatch it to give to my brother. Back then, they said, your grandma left you a house, so the new house goes to your brother. Since you have a place, don't fight him for the new one. You're in college now. Tuition and living expenses are high, so rent this place out. Use the rent for living expenses, and apply for student loans for tuition. That'll take a lot of pressure off me and your dad. Just a few casual sentences like that, and my college tuition and living expenses were gone. No one rented the place, so naturally, no living expenses. To finish college, I had to spend all my free time working. 3 years later, I'd saved 100,000 from scholarships and part-time jobs. As I thought about what to do with that money, I pulled my suitcase towards the home grandma left me. That 100,000 was my savings from 3 years. Spending it all at once, it would hurt, no lie. I did hesitate. Should I listen to that blogger and prepare for the cold? Everything she said happened exactly as predicted within half a month. If this is also true, then forget 100,000, even millions or even billions. I'd spend it all if it meant I could survive. If it's fake, all I lose is money. You can always earn more money, but you only have one life. I don't want to gamble with my life. The old, small apartment was on the 6th floor, the top floor of that building. Because the building was so old, many people in the complex had already moved out. Those who stayed were mostly elderly folks, who were too old and couldn't afford a new place. As soon as I entered, a wave of damp, stuffy air hit me. I turned on the light, put down my luggage, and quickly made up a bed. Then I took out paper, a pen, and my phone, to list the supplies I needed to buy. Cold weather gear is expensive, but I didn't need too much. I bought a winter tent, a winter sleeping bag, thermal underwear, sweaters, long johns, wool socks, insulated gloves, winter boots, and a warm hat. I even bought 2 sets of long down jackets. One set to wear, one set as backup. In case the set I'm wearing gets damaged and loses its insulation, I can switch to the backup. Luckily, It's summer now, so winter gear isn't expensive. Some are even on sale for 90% off. That saved me a lot of money. Besides cold weather gear, the most important things are food and drink. Compared to the gear, food and drink are cheaper, but I need a lot of them. It all adds up to a huge expense. Besides that, there are necessities like toilet paper and anti-frostbite cream. After listing everything I needed to buy, I ordered everything I could online. Local delivery will get it to the nearest pickup point by tomorrow. I'll have to go out first thing tomorrow morning to buy the rest. On the morning of the 27th, I first went to a car rental company and rented a cargo van. Then I drove to the wholesale farmers market. Things at the wholesale market are much cheaper than elsewhere. I bought 2 bags of rice, 2 bags of flour, and instant noodles in various flavors. I also bought a few self-heating hot pots, and a lot of sugar, energy bars, compressed biscuits, dried vegetables, dried meat, oil, and beans. I don't eat much by myself, so this should last me 2 or 3 years. As for drinks, I only bought water and some beverages, and not too much. There's no elevator to the 6th floor. If I bought too much, I couldn't carry it all up in one day. Besides, if I ran out of water, I could always eat snow. After getting food and drinks, I went to buy daily necessities. Toilet paper, plastic bags, clear tape, plastic wrap, tarps, plastic sheets, fishing line, a kitchen knife. I bought everything I thought I might need. On the way back, I passed by a steamed bun shop. I bought all the buns they had for the day. It took a long time to haul all this stuff up to the 6th floor. After finishing that, I went to the delivery point to pick up all my packages. That evening, I went straight to a nearby pharmacy. I bought some common medicines and water purification supplies. After a quick dinner, I washed all the basins, buckets, kettles, and the rice cooker I'd bought. While I still had electricity and water, I started filling containers and cooking rice at the same time. While the rice was cooking, I opened my phone and checked the time traveler's profile. They had posted another video. The content was exactly the same as the one from the 26th. The comments were all over the place. Don't bother, the blogger is just fearmongering. It's only June, not even midsummer yet. How could we possibly enter an ice age? Oh no. What do? I don't have money for cold weather gear. Am I just going to freeze to death? Great. It's so hot right now. Bring on the ice age so I can cool off. Is the blogger for real? But everything they said before came true. The blogger is spreading rumors. Reported. You're getting banned. Out of all these comments, the blogger only replied to one. Someone asked, how long will the ice age last? The time traveler replied, don't know. On the 28th, I did a simple organization and inventory of everything I'd bought. I checked what was missing and went back to buy those things. Finally, I returned the car. Back home, I changed the lock on the door. I piled all the heavy furniture in front of the door. Then I cleared out the innermost bedroom. I lined the inside and outside of the room with plastic sheets and foam boards. Then I sealed all the window gaps with expanding foam. Finally, I used plastic sheeting and clear tape to seal the place up tight. With the inside and outside sealed, I started setting up the cold weather tent, the cot, and the sleeping bag. In the meantime, I made sure to fetch water, boil it, and cook rice. Once the rice was done, I portioned it out into clean plastic wrap, 1 bag per meal. I also steamed the flour I bought into buns and packed them separately. Luckily, no one lived on the 5th floor, and with the recent heat, the elderly folks didn't go out during the day. Even though I made some noise, no one came knocking. My academic advisor and roommates did message me, but I managed to brush them off. As for my parents and younger brother, same as always. They never sent me a single message. In the blink of an eye, it was the evening of the 29th. I came out of the bathroom after a shower, picked up my phone and navigated to the time traveler's profile page. From the 26th to the 29th, every single day at dawn, the time traveler posted a video with the exact same message. The background in the videos was identical, but the warning text grew redder and redder, and the tone became more and more urgent. I accidentally swiped away, and when I tried to find it again, a system prompt appeared. This account has been banned. The reason for the ban was that the video content caused panic, and was reported by a large number of users. I closed the app and went to a video platform, downloaded a few classic free movies and TV shows, then went to a novel platform and cached a few books, using up all my data for the month. Then I quietly waited for the 30th to arrive. I lay on the bed by the window in the living room, looking at the night outside. The night was pitch black, no moon in sight, not a single star either. Like a piece of dark cloth, you couldn't see a thing. There wasn't a single sound around, just complete silence. Only then did I realize how crazy my actions these past few days had been. Would my $100,000 of hard-earned money just go down the drain, or would it end up saving my life? I'd have the answer in just a few hours. Saying I wasn't nervous would be a lie. With a nervous heart, I stared at the pitch-black sky, and at some point, I fell asleep. When I woke up again, heavy snow was falling outside. It's snowing in June. Oh my God, snow in June. The injustice must be worse than DOE's. Oh no, the time traveler was telling the truth. Could that person really be from the future? I haven't prepared anything yet. Great, the snow's too heavy. How do we get home? I saw the snow this morning and didn't go to work. Good thing I didn't go, or I'd be stuck there now. People online were saying all sorts of things. Some were shocked by the strange phenomenon of heavy snowfall in the middle of summer. Some complained they couldn't get home because of the snow. Others were glad they'd listened to the time traveler's warning and prepared early. I browsed through the videos people posted and found this weird snowstorm wasn't just happening here. It started snowing almost everywhere on Earth at the same time. Many meteorologists tried to explain this phenomenon with their vast experience and knowledge, but none could give the real reason for the snow. The snow had just started, so the temperature hadn't dropped too much yet. I took off my shorts and t-shirt, put on some warm thermal underwear, pants and socks, grabbed my binoculars, and stood by the window to look outside. Outside, snow was swirling, and a cold wind was howling. On the road not far away, many people had left their homes and were heading to the nearest supermarket. Even in our own neighborhood, a few hardy seniors were braving the snow to walk to the store. These were the quickest to react. Seeing trouble ahead, they went to stock up on food and drinks before the snow got too deep to walk in. Once the snow gets worse, you won't even be able to leave the house. I put down the binoculars and went to the kitchen to make a pot of pork rib and corn soup. I also stewed a fish, made some braised pork and minced pork with eggplant. Finally, I heated a bag of rice in the rice cooker. The snow outside kept falling. The power will go out eventually. Before it does, I need to eat as well as I can. Otherwise, once the power's out, getting a hot, fresh meal or a bowl of hot soup will be tough. After cooking, I boiled a kettle of water. I poured the hot water into an empty thermos to save for later. By the time I finished filling the thermos, the food was ready. I dished out the food and put it on a simple table made from a plastic board. I sat on the sofa to eat. My phone suddenly rang. I put down my chopsticks and picked it up. It was my mom calling. I thought about it and answered anyway. Zhang Qiuyue, book a ticket home right now. On your way back, pick up some groceries for the house, and get your brother some drinks and snacks. He's out of snacks and throwing a fit. While she was talking, I could hear my brother crying for snacks in the background. And my dad yelling and cursing. That's how it always was at home. The moment my brother cried, Mom would rush to comfort him. If she couldn't calm him down, Dad would start throwing things and screaming at her. If I was home, I'd end up becoming Mom's punching bag. If my brother was the little prince of the family, I was at the very bottom, a servant they could beat and curse at will. I couldn't escape them before. Not until I went to college did I slowly get away from that suffocating environment. I calmly replied, it's been too hot this month. I didn't make any money. I can't afford a ticket home, and I can't afford to buy him food. Mom yelled into the phone, we have no money at home, and you're out there spending like crazy. You're hopeless. You're in college now and still taking money from home. Have some shame. Kids in America move out at 18 and get jobs to help support their families. You're already in your 20s and still taking our money. What a waste of money. So, how much do you need for the ticket this time? Back in high school, every time I asked for money, whether for tuition or living expenses, Mom would scream at me first, before giving it to me. I was used to it. I said, why is the ticket so expensive? Are you trying to scam me? The high-speed rail ticket is $800, and the remaining $200 is for your son's snacks. I said, then take the regular train seat back. That's only $300. The high-speed rail is fast. The regular train seat won't get you home until tomorrow. The call was quickly hung up on the other end. Then Mom transferred me 1,000 yuan. I accepted it without a second thought. Then I took a few pictures of my food and kept eating. The snow kept falling into the night. The accumulation was already past my calves. Not a soul was in sight on the roads. After dinner, I plugged in 2 small space heaters in the living room and my bedroom. The living room warmed up quickly, making the place much cozier. I opened my phone, and several notifications popped up. Due to snow disasters in multiple areas, train and high-speed rail services are temporarily suspended. Due to snow blockages, all cars, buses, and taxis in the city are suspended. Class suspension notice. Due to the blizzard, all kindergartens, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and universities in the city are closed. I took a screenshot of the high-speed rail suspension notice and sent it to my mom. I bought the ticket, but the high-speed rail is suspended, so I can't go back. Soon, my mom sent a message. Since you can't come back, just transfer the money back to me. I never intended to give that money back, even though money isn't much use to me right now. As long as I don't transfer it back to her for a single day, she'll be hopping mad. I edited the photo of the meal I took in the morning with a photo app, gave it a nice table background, and sent it to her, along with a caption, I'm stuck at the high-speed rail station and used the money to buy food. Just as I expected, my mom called me, and I rejected it. Right after that, my dad started bombarding me with calls too. I blocked both their numbers. I didn't block them on WeChat, because in the days to come, I plan to live stream my wonderful life to them. I'm not afraid of them finding me. For one, I won't let them know my location. And two, even if they did, so what? In this freezing, snowy weather, they probably can't even get out their front door. Coming out to look for me, they'd have to consider if they'd die on the way. I sat near the space heater to warm up, sipping hot water and scrolling through my phone. My parents saw that I wasn't replying, had blocked their calls, and wasn't answering video calls either. So the couple went to the family group chat, playing off each other, to pour out their grievances, and call for backup. The relatives in the group also helped the couple criticize me. I watched for a while, and decided that from now on, I'd take a photo of every meal and post it in the family group. I'll be eating, and they'll be watching. Seeing me doing better than them is worse than death for these people. The more miserable they are, the happier I am. I casually set the family group chat to mute notifications, and went to check the college group chat. The college group was muted for everyone. The latest message, sent at 8:30 in the morning, was a notice telling everyone to bring their luggage and gather on the second floor of the third cafeteria. I took a screenshot of the notice and sent it to the dorm group chat. I asked, "Are you guys at the third cafeteria now?" "Yao. We came over in the morning. The counselor said the school doesn't have enough coal to provide heating for all the dorms. We had to gather everyone in the cafeteria. It's easier to keep warm and eat there." "Jia, good thing I listened to you. I went and bought a whole bag of energy bars last night. This morning, the supermarket was all sold out." Lon, same here. I came back last night and got some fruit candies and chocolate. I wish I'd bought more, knowing it would snow like this. I asked, "What's the situation in the cafeteria now?" Dayo sent me a video of the cafeteria from his phone. In the video, all the tables and chairs on the second floor were stacked against the wall. The entire middle section was cleared out. The floor was covered with mattresses, quilts, and blankets. All the students, now in long sleeves and pants, were lying or sitting on them. Some were chatting, others were on their phones, and some just stared worriedly at the heavy snow falling outside. Dayo, the cafeteria has the AC on. It's warm, not cold at all. They've brought out all the reserve supplies from the cafeteria and supermarket. There's enough food. Even if they run out of everything, we can still eat the energy bars, so don't worry. Lon, Chiu, where are you? Why don't you come back? It's better to be with the crowd here than being alone. Jia, yeah, you should come back. We'll squeeze in and make room for you. It's warmer when you huddle together in winter. Hearing that, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't touched. Since starting college, my 3 roommates have helped me so much, and given me so much care. Being so far away, I can't help them. So I just typed in the group chat, "The snow's too heavy, I won't come back." You 3, try to keep a low profile in the cafeteria. Don't let anyone know you bought energy bars and candy. There's a lot of stuff in the cafeteria now, but the snowstorm is huge. All traffic is cut off, there's no resupply. Supplies will definitely run out eventually. When that happens, people might start fighting over food. You guys need to be careful. Lon, right, got it. You be careful out there too. After chatting with my roommates, it was only 9 p.m. Still early for bed, and I was bored. So I opened TikTok. The first thing I saw when I opened it was a live stream. The streamer, like many people rushing to buy supplies, was trapped in a large supermarket. The streamer panned the phone camera around, and said to the viewers, "You're asking what I'm doing right now? I'm in line to get some food." Each person gets a pack of bread, or a cup of instant noodles and a bottle of water. Cold? Not at all. The supermarket has the AC on. Staple foods here like instant noodles, bread, buns, flatbreads, and rice aren't for sale. Water isn't for sale either. Everything's managed centrally, then distributed. No need to pay. Free food and drinks, hehe. This supermarket owner has a conscience. When the snow stops, I'll have to come here often. Yeah. Here, cigarettes and alcohol are hard currency, along with sugar and coke. Yeah. Here, cigarettes and alcohol are hard currency, along with sugar and coke. They sell for a fortune. I just sold the coke I had. Sold it for $800. $800 for a bottle of coke, unthinkable before. Thanks, bro, for the big plane gift. That big plane is enough for me to buy 5 bottles of soda. The streamer talked a lot. As it approached 11, I listened to the streamer as background noise, while boiling some water to wash up. After washing up, I turned off the space heater in the living room, shut the bedroom door tight, and crawled into the sleeping bag inside the cold weather tent. And so, I spent the first day after the heavy snow safely and soundly. The first day of snow. We had power, internet, water, and ample supplies. Order was still relatively stable. But I thought, if the snow kept falling, when supplies were about to run out, when power and water cuts made normal survival impossible, that's when order would collapse. When granaries are full, people learn propriety. When well-fed and clothed, they know honor. When a person is hungry and cold, propriety, righteousness, integrity, and shame vanish. Any place where everyone needs to fight for survival supplies will become a living hell. The first day of July. The heavy snow outside was still falling, never stopping. I slept until 7 in the morning. Got up and boiled some water. Warmed up some rice and made a fish soup. Then stir-fried cumin-spiced pork and scrambled eggs with green peppers. A dish of sautéed potatoes, eggplants, and peppers, and another with shrimp and broccoli. Then I dished out the food, and neatly arranged it on the makeshift table. I also took out a bottle of cola and placed it beside the food. Found a good angle and took a photo. After taking the picture, I put some of the dishes into plastic containers, and placed them under the window in the living room. That's the spot closest to the outside, and also the coldest place in the whole house. Perfect for a natural refrigerator. All the perishable food was stored there. Before eating, I took the photo I just taken. Did a quick edit and added the caption, breakfast. After editing, I sent it to the family group chat. Afraid my parents might miss it, I even tagged them both in the chat. After sending it, I randomly clicked into a live stream and watched it while having breakfast. The hot fish soup was delicious, warming me up from the inside out. After eating my fill and cleaning up, I picked up my phone to see their reactions. As expected, my mom chewed me out again. Selfish, ungrateful, unfilial daughter. She could curse me out with the vilest words. Maybe my food photo was just too tempting. A lot of people in the group joined my mom in scolding me. They all condemned me verbally, as if I'd done something utterly unforgivable. Some people did speak up for me, but then they'd subtly try to find out where I was. Honestly, whether they curse me or scheme against me, I don't care. What I enjoy most is seeing how much they despise me, yet can do nothing about it, and then watching their helpless rage. The blizzard lasted a full 3 days, only stopping on the morning of July 3rd. The snow stopped, but the sky remained gloomy, with no sun in sight. Everyone was overjoyed to see the snow finally stop, but soon, their smiles faded. 3 days of heavy snow had piled up 5 meters high, blocking the exits of the residential buildings. No one could get out, and no one could get in either. The same was true for other areas. Clearing it would be not only difficult but also time-consuming and labor-intensive. So a very real problem was now facing everyone. 1. Supplies were running low. Videos started popping up online of people fighting and getting hurt over supplies. In the dorm group chat, Dayo and the others sent me videos of conflicts breaking out between students in the cafeteria. Survival was a serious issue, and conflicts were frequent. Tensions between people were escalating. And I still cooked every day, took photos, and posted them in the family group chat. Seeing that yelling at me wasn't working, my mom changed tactics. She sent me a photo of my brother. We're almost out of food in the fridge. The 3 of us have nothing to eat. We'll starve sooner or later. Can you bear to watch your parents and your own brother starve to death? Your brother hasn't been eating or sleeping well these past few days. He's lost weight. He's just a kid. He can't handle being hungry. I opened the photo and looked. The little boy in the picture was chubby. Where was the weight loss? He just looked listless, with dull eyes. He was far from starving. I'm at school, so far from home. Even if I gave you the address, you couldn't get here. My words seemed to remind her of something. She sent another string of curses, and then never messaged me again. Before the snow, it was summer. Food spoils easily, so most people didn't stockpile much food at home. Even if they put all the groceries they bought in the fridge, it wouldn't last long. The heavy snow lasted for 3 days. Many families found themselves running low on food. During dinner time, I took all the food photos I'd taken over the past few days but hadn't posted, and posted them all at once in the family group chat. I sent a copy to each of my parents too. Then I left the family group and blocked everyone. While they were short on supplies, hungry and suffering, the daughter they looked down on was feasting, living and thriving. Who wouldn't be furious seeing that? The night I posted those photos in the family group, the power went out. The internet was cut too. I tidied up the 2 small heaters, grabbed my thermos, and crawled into the insulated tent. Since the power had just gone out and my room was winterized, it was still warm. The indoor thermometer showed 20 degrees above zero. I spent my last warm, cold night in the sleeping bag. The cold slowly seeped through the walls into the room. The temperature inside gradually dropped. Finally, the temperature inside the insulated tent stabilized at 15 below zero. I put on every piece of warm clothing I had. I bundled myself up like a snowman. At least I'm dressed warmly, even if it's bulky. After the power went out, my standard of living plummeted. I can no longer have a hot meal in the morning, or a warm bowl of soup. All I have are frozen, rock-hard steamed buns, pickled vegetables, and hot water from a thermos to get by. Lunch and dinner are a bit better. I either make instant noodles with boiling water, and then drink up all the broth with the noodles, or I open a self-heating hot pot or rice meal. Then I add some rice or a steamed bun to it for a hot meal. This can't last much longer, but there's no other choice right now. Having food, staying alive, not freezing or starving to death, that's already good enough. It's hard to imagine life outside with no power or water, no way to stay warm and no winter clothes. The situation outside is more severe than I imagined. I looked through my binoculars at the residential complex across the way. I saw many people with axes and knives, going door to door, smashing and looting. That complex is over 500 meters away from me. It's a high-rise residential area built in recent years. Each building is over 30 stories tall. Mostly young people live there. Young, strong, and more adept at looting. From what I observed, they're not just looting, they're killing people too. Sometimes they hack with sharp weapons. Huge splatters of blood hit the windows. It's a horrifying sight. Sometimes they just open a window and throw someone out. The snow wasn't frozen solid yet, so the person landed in it. In the blink of an eye, the snow swallowed them up without a trace. Even though I was mentally prepared, seeing such brutality was still hard to accept. If residential areas are this chaotic, places like school cafeterias and supermarkets with lots of people, I can't even imagine. One day, after I finished eating, I inexplicably picked up the binoculars and looked outside. I happened to see a group of people carrying someone and throwing them out a window. The person fell from a great height. They didn't get buried in the snow like before. Instead, they landed hard right on the snow's surface. I quickly put down the binoculars. I covered my pounding heart, thinking, this is bad. The snow freezing solid means people can finally get out of the buildings. The snow covered the first floor, so the second floor became the first floor. They could easily jump out from second-story windows to search for supplies, and with everything in the building eaten, if they want to survive. Coming out to look for supplies is inevitable. Thinking this, I hurried to the kitchen, grabbed a kitchen knife, and hid in the cold weather tent. I placed it right beside me, within easiest reach. Another week passed. Early one morning, I was eating. Suddenly, I heard movement downstairs. Listening carefully, it was the sound of people talking. The voices were faint, hard to make out clearly. Normally, you shouldn't be able to hear that from the 6th floor, but it was so quiet outside, I could still hear the sounds from below. I quickly finished the steamed bun in my hand, washed it down with some warm water, then picked up the kitchen knife and stood guard by the door. This old dump has terrible soundproofing. I heard someone come inside. They went up to the 3rd floor, then the 4th. On each floor, they broke doors down to get in. As the sounds got closer, my heart jumped into my throat. They were a group, and ruthless murderers at that. Me, a college student who can't fight to save my life. Even with a kitchen knife, I'm no match for them. I could only grip the knife tighter and pray they wouldn't come up to the 6th floor. Soon, they reached the 5th floor. I could clearly hear their conversation from inside my room. Damn, there's nothing here. Just a few old folks, and they're all dead. That's just how these old dumps are. All the young people moved out. I told you we shouldn't have come here. So what do we do now? Try the 6th floor. Nah. The dust on the 4th and 5th floors is so thick, no one's been here in ages. It'd be a waste of time. Big Mau's right. I think we should give up on this place. Better to head to that new development up ahead. High rises, lots of residents, all rich people. We're bound to score some good stuff there. Alright. You win. Let's go somewhere else. Damn it, no more old neighborhoods for us. Listening as their voices and footsteps faded into the distance, my heart finally began to settle. Everyone looks down on these old, dilapidated buildings, but this one saved my life. 5 more days passed, and the hot water in the thermos was completely gone. I could only stick hand warmers to the outside of a water bottle, warming the cold water to a tepid temperature. That way, it wouldn't be too cold to drink. With warm water to drink, I used the residual heat from the hand warmers to warm my hands and face. I didn't know how much longer this life would last. I only knew that each day I survived was another day closer to being rescued. My phone and 2 power banks finally ran out of juice. That day was July 28th. 2 more days passed after that. On the 30th, my luck finally changed. On the morning of the 30th, I heard the sound of a helicopter in the distance. The sound grew louder as the helicopter drew closer. I perked up and grabbed my binoculars. Carefully, I peered outside. A helicopter was slowly approaching the city. On the side of the olive green helicopter, the words, rescue, were clearly visible. This was my only chance for salvation. Without hesitation, I smashed the window. I took out my emergency whistle and put it in my mouth. I took a deep breath and blew the whistle. I blew the whistle while waving a red bedsheet in front of the window. The shrill sound of the emergency whistle pierced the silent sky. The helicopter flew toward my location from afar. The helicopter landed on the snow. 3 men in military uniforms stepped out. They climbed into this old, dilapidated building from the 2nd floor. I hurriedly moved the furniture blocking the door and opened it. The leader, a soldier named Xiao Qixin, showed me his identification. I ushered them into the living room. I explained my situation. Then I was rescued. I took all the usable supplies I had bought with me. I had a lot of supplies, so they only evacuated me on this trip before heading back. In the city center next door, the People's Liberation Army had established a large rescue base. The snow had been cleared from the rescue base, and the heating was back on. All my supplies were taken into the base. As compensation, I was assigned a single room with a private bathroom. The room wasn't big, but it was enough for me. After I was settled in, Xiao Qixin and his colleagues boarded the helicopter again. They went to rescue others. Helicopters were constantly coming and going, and more people arrived at the base. Everyone who arrived here registered their information. After being assigned housing, they were given different tasks. Those who could drive operated snowplows to clear the snow. Those who could cook helped out in the cafeteria. The crafty ones made cotton clothes, shoes, and down jackets. The strong ones helped move heavy objects. People with professional skills, like doctors and nurses, were sent to treat the sick. Everyone at the base had their own role and did their job. Because my university major was related to agriculture, I was assigned to farm. My farming site used to be a large supermarket, covering a huge area. On the 1st floor, except for the load-bearing walls, all other walls were torn down. A thick layer of soil was spread over it. Heating pipes were laid underneath, and a plastic greenhouse was built on top. This ensured the plants wouldn't freeze to death. The supermarket had 6 floors in total. Each floor was planted with corn and potatoes, sweet potatoes, cabbage, and other staple foods and vegetables. Some were grown in soil, while others were cultivated hydroponically. At the farming base, I ran into Yao Chunhua. She said not long after the blackout and internet outage, the cafeteria descended into chaos. She, Su Jiejia, and Li Rulan had taken my advice, and tried to lay low and survive. The 3 of them stuck together for warmth. They lasted 5 days on energy bars and melted snow. Later, Jiejia and Rulan, because they were too thin, and their bodies were weak, couldn't withstand the cold. They froze to death one night. She herself held on for a few more days. Just as she was about to freeze to death, rescuers found her. They brought her to the rescue base, and that's how she survived. 2 living people I'd spent every day with were just gone like that. I was genuinely heartbroken for a long time. But no matter how sad I was, life had to go on. In the days that followed, Yao Chunhua and I, along with our colleagues at the farming base, worked the land together. Besides farming, we started researching how to improve plants' cold resistance and yield. 2 years later, my colleagues and I finally achieved significant results. Commonly eaten crops like corn, wheat, rice, and potatoes, sweet potatoes, and others saw their cold resistance increase by 50%. At the same time, their yield increased by 30%. Over those 2 years, the rescue base had expanded significantly. As the rescue base grew, so did the agricultural zones. We could grow more and more crops, and the food on people's tables became more varied. Life was getting better. One day, Xiao Qixin told me, the rescue base had expanded to my old neighborhood. He could take me back to see it. I said offhandedly, that old dump isn't worth seeing. Xiao Qixin clarified, I meant the home where your parents lived. Maybe he was asking if I wanted to see my parents. But after all this time, they were probably dead. That's why he was beating around the bush. I hesitated, sighed softly, and asked, when do we leave? This afternoon. That afternoon, I put on my cold weather gear, bundled up like a snowball, and boarded a helicopter out of the rescue base. Outside the base was an endless world of ice and snow. As far as the eye could see, it was a vast expanse of white, not much different from when I was rescued 2 years ago. The helicopter landed in front of my old apartment building. I dragged my bulky body up the stairs, floor by floor. The 5th floor apartment had been looted, the door broken. I walked right in. I saw 3 bodies on the couch, 2 adults and a child. It was my biased parents and my brother. The temperature was so low their bodies were preserved fairly well. No signs of decay. Hard to say if they froze or starved to death. After they died, looters had taken their clothes. I picked up a thin sheet and covered the 3 of them. Then I walked downstairs without looking back. It's strange. When I heard Su Jiejia and Li Rulan had died, I was upset for a while. But now, seeing my parents' and brother's bodies with my own eyes, I felt nothing. I even felt a sense of relief. After finishing their business, Xiao Qixin and the others flew me back. We were still far from the rescue base, when I saw the smoke rising steadily from it. As we got closer, I could hear the hum of machinery and people talking. In that moment, the world seemed split in 2. Behind us was a silent, dead world, but ahead lay a hopeful, living world. Humanity is such a paradox, both fragile and resilient. Fragile enough that a single freeze could kill so many, yet even in the harshest conditions, they can carve out a new world, a land of hope, uniquely human.